Live.
All right, we are live. Welcome to this special Transmissions podcast event. I'm your host, Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hello.
And Daryl, the Cybertronian Beast.
How's it going? Let's talk Transformers.
All right, we are privileged to host this live Reddit AMA simulcast special with an amazing guest. David Kaye is a legend in voice acting whose IMDb credits, if listed head to end, would wrap all the way around Unicron twice. He's voiced so many characters in animation, from General Hawk on G.I. Joe, to aliens in Ben 10, to superheroes and villains in Marvel and DC animated shows, to Duckworth in the new DuckTales reboot. In video games, he's best known as Clank in the popular Ratchet and Clank series, and he's the voice of John Oliver's Last Week Tonight on HBO. But of course, we know David best as the voice of so many of our favorite robots in disguise, the Transformers. Among many other characters, he's the only person to regularly voice both Optimus Prime in a series, Transformers Animated, and Megatron in a series, Transformers Armada, Cybertron, Unicron, Beast Machines, and a little show called Beast Wars. We are so pleased to introduce Mr. David Kaye.
All right. What? Look what I brought. From the 2016 BlackCon. There it is. That was a big C. That was, thank you. That's not, you're putting a lot of pressure on me now, man. Wow. Thank you for that.
You've got enough experience. I figured you could handle it. 25 years. It's
you know, there's a reason that we hide behind the mic sometimes. Yeah. Great to be here.
Yeah, it's so great to talk to you. We've got Reddit. We're doing this, Reddit is usually, all text, but with a voice actor, we figured, you gotta do live video and voice, because we want to hear your lovely voice.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, this is the first for me as well. It's all new territory for me. And just honored to be here. And I know that the questions are coming fast and furious, and there's a whole bunch of, and I was like, whoa, slow down. So I had to get my hair, fixed for this, and, rocking the Jobby the Hong t-shirt this morning. So, hey, Jobby, there you go. Give you guys a little dinosaur there, but I got some of my toys down. They're pretty dusty. There's a Ratchet and Clank back there and stuff. But I got my Transformers stuff. I got a Toxitron that Derek Wyatt gave to me after we did a reading in, what was that? That was Pasadena, right?
Yeah, that was 2010. 2010?
Yeah.
Oh. No, 2011. Sorry. 2011.
That doesn't
so much better.
Makes it
any better. And of course, who's got one of these? Anybody else?
Yes.
We're gonna sell out of these. Just letting you know. We talked before, and I do have I have enough left, but because of the COVID protocols, I honestly, people have ordered stuff and it's coming. Okay, it's just because I really just.
We lost David.
Lost him. Come back,
accidentally
David.
Closed his window. So
oh no.
He will be back shortly.
David.
Technical difficulties.
It wouldn't be a Transmissions without technical difficulties.
That's true. Yeah.
And I don't want to be on the big window. We'll make that choice. Here he comes.
Hey, he's coming back. He's coming back.
There we go. There you are.
And
no audio, David. You're muted.
I
think I just unmuted him.
There we go.
Better? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah, just quit on me. I'm sorry, guys. It's just a glitch in the system, I guess. Does that happen?
That happens.
Okay.
Yeah.
So But as you're saying, I was going to say, it's me not wanting to go to the post office because you're in line 6 feet and you're like, you're trying to breathe. And, and I literally, I walked out yesterday because there's too many people. And we have a great little post office over here in Toluca Lake. And I couldn't handle it. So I gotta go. So yeah, I'm not doing, being a hypochondriac during a pandemic is not really a great combination. Just throwing that out there. So anyway, but yeah, if you do order stuff off the site, you'll get it. It's coming. I have it. It's probably still sitting here. Anyway, go ahead, please.
Well, I mean, I think we'll get started right away. We'll jump right into the questions. So, I mean, this is this is Reddit's interview, so they got to pick the questions, and we
Awesome.
We put them together. So, Daryl, why don't you start us off?
All right, we're going to go start off with question number 1, and this had a couple questions that were similar to it, so we kind of all curated them together. But the first one is, who is your favorite co-star that you have worked with ever on all of the shows and that you've done? This is from Comic Geek 04, and it has similar questions asked from Little Miss TFP and from Christian TDD.
Gosh, there's been a bunch. Lance Henriksen was one of my favorite stories, and he's just so nice and so chill, and you just being Lance Henriksen, you just remember the movies he's been in, and at any moment he could snap. You're like, but he's just so great. And I remember him coming in on the Transformers animated series, and he was in that. We had a lot of celebs come in, from Weird Al Yankovic, and I mean the list goes on and on. And Lance came in, and I was beside him, so I would be on this part of the room at the back. Usually Tom Kenny would be beside me, but that day Lance was beside me because Tom wasn't in, and to the left of me is usually Bumper Robinson and Bill Fagerbakke over here, and on the other, in between them would be Corey Megatron. So yeah, Lance was here, and I remember leaning against the back wall. There's sound panels. I was just kind of leaning there, back. That wasn't my line, and Lance would start talking, and literally you could feel with the resonance in his voice, you could kind of feel like he would look over. How's that? Is that okay? That's this. You guys are having, this is great fun. I said, man, just keep talking because I'm getting a back massage right here. Just keep talking. But he was great. Fred Willard was in. That was exceptional. You see, when we used to do Beast Wars in Vancouver, we did it at the old Pinewood Studios. God, I sound old. It was such a great place. It's gone. It's a condominiums now, probably up there. But we didn't get any celebrities to come in. When I moved down here and I started working in Los Angeles, in Hollywood, we used to, celebrities would come in, and I was used to getting a breakdown the night before and go, they'd say, Weird Al Yankovic, and I said, they're going to get someone who sounds like Weird Al Yankovic. Okay, that's because that's what we do up in Vancouver when I used to work up there and live up there. And then I walked in the door in the Cartoon Network and walked around and went, oh, weird. I mean, it's like, Al, I don't know. No, that's okay. You can call me weird. That's fine. And I go, oh my God, he's here. I keep forgetting. Oh, that's right. They live here. They're all here. So there's been many. Lance, Fred Willard, Weird Al, boy, oh boy. Renee, now I keep getting his last name, Arja Benoit, Renee from Star Wars.
Auberginois,
yes,
yeah.
Auberginois. We lost him last year. He passed away, and I worked with him on Regular Show and on Ben 10 Omniverse, and he was a delight. And we used to talk, and he was just an intelligent man, and I just really enjoyed his company. So yeah, there's a few, but those sort of stand out to me a little bit.
Right on.
Yeah.
Right
awesome.
on. Good stuff.
All right. Next question. Did you enjoy playing Megatron in Beast Wars, and what did you like most about the role? And this comes from Phoenix 2000 BTI.
Well, let me just say it was just horrible. It was a horrible experience. Oh, but I hated every second of it. No, it was daunting because, well, first of all, I didn't grow up with G1. I was a Bugs Bunny. I watched a lot of weird cartoons, and goofy stuff like Daffy Duck and all that. So my good friend Eric Bowes is now Bugs Bunny, which freaks me out because he's my like, wait, my friend is Bugs Bunny. What the hell? So I grew up with all that, Mel Blanc, and then so when this audition came down in Vancouver, I guess it was you guys can maybe help me with this, 93, 94 probably, when we were starting to cast, I guess early 90s, right?
Mhm.
And I got this big pack, like, a stack of stuff, and it was all Transformers, and it was a big deal. And I kind of didn't. I go, wow, this is a lot of papers. I guess this must be important. So, but I didn't. So I never really thought too much about it. I went in and I chose some characters. There's all over the place, and Doug Parker was doing the auditions at that time, and it was over at I think it was in Vancouver, and I remember being at where Expo. There was the old Expo site or something. I can't remember where that was. But it was a Canada Place or something like there's whatever it was, and there was a studio there, and I can see it in my head, but I can't quite remember. And I read a bunch of characters, and a lot of people were there, and I was relatively still pretty new in the business up there, and I didn't think too much about it, and I got a call back for the callbacks a few weeks later, I guess it was, and I had to go to Griffith Gibson Ramsey production, GGRP. That's where the callbacks were. And I remember walking in, it was very, very quiet. It wasn't like the whole, like all these people like before, but it was like I was the only one there. I went, oh, well, this is kind of interesting. And they brought me in, and at that moment, I had no idea what I was really going to. I know what I did during the audition, but I really wasn't. I said, geez, do I do that again, or what am I gonna, what did we? I wasn't really quite sure. An actress is supposed to make a choice, and I had no choice. That's not a good sign if you're an actor. Make a choice, stick to. I had nothing, and it wasn't until I got in the room and I saw there's a bunch of people on the other side. I don't even know who they all were. And I think Sue Blue was she there? She must have been there. I can't honestly quite remember who was doing the VO cat in the room for that. But I said, let's start with Megatron, and at that moment I thought, literally, it sort of popped into my head that Sean Connery, because we're goofing around with that, and Anthony Hopkins has been always a favorite actor of mine, and a lizard, because he looks like a lizard. I had pictures of it, and there he is, excellent. And I started sort of a little bit of a lisp with Anthony Hopkins, Clarice. I sort of started in here, and that's where I went with it. And it was written very Shakespearean. To be or not to be, that is the question. Whether 'tis noble in the mind to suffer slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, but to take your palms against a sea of trouble, there's the rub. So I, what the hell happened there? So I went with that. And they all the nodding heads, the meerkats, they kind of, and then they said, okay, we want you to read for Optimus Prime. And I went, okay, sure. And I don't even know what I did. I think it might have been similar to what I did with good old Optimus here from Animated, but I can't remember what I did for, I remember distinctly what I did for Megatron, but I don't remember what I did for Optimus. And then a couple weeks after that, hey, congratulations, you're gonna play Megatron. I went, oh, cool. So I didn't really know. And it wasn't until 6-8 months later when we saw some computer renderings from in the Pinewood Studios. The Sue Blue said, okay, guys, this is exciting. We're gonna see some stuff today. Oh my god, this is mind blowing. You're gonna love this. We all sat in chairs like kids in a school in kindergarten class. We looked up and they played some of the. At that time, we're like, oh my God, this is like the future. Now you look at it, you're like, well, yeah, it's a bit dated, and but it's still pretty good. But at the time, we're like, well, this is a whole other world. We don't even know it, and we're blown away. And then the first convention, I know I'm rambling, but I'm just getting to the point. My first convention in Rochester, that's when I knew. So when Peter was there, Peter Cullen was there as well. that this is a big deal. And it wasn't until months later that I realized that, oh, this is a big deal. So it's a long-winded question, a long-winded answer for a short question, but I think I've answered about 8 questions. Yes. Yes, excellent. Well done, David K. You're my hero. Ow, son of a bitch. Okay, sorry. Okay.
All right, Daryl, next question.
All right, let's go on to a question from Marth43, and he asks, what was your favorite voice acting line out of all your roles? I'm sure it's very easy to remember.
Yeah, well, I mean, I will say, look, I have to say Megatron because that was the first role I went, oh, this is, like I said in the last question, see how I went into this question, see how that happened?
Oh, you built the levels.
I built all the levels there to get to this question. It is.
Well, wait.
Yes.
Before you go, can we get one from one of your other characters? Because the next question is about Beast Wars Megatron.
Yeah. All right. Beast Wars Megatron. Right. Well, here's oh, look, it's a Paul Bettany version of it's Vision. I played in Avengers Assemble. Vision. Here we are. Incoming, sir. Right away, sir. I'm a symbiote.
Nobody's talking about Vision right now.
Yeah, I know that. They're not. I'm just saying you want something. But what it is, the Megatron, of course, is my favorite because that sort of got me in this room here. We're in Los Angeles. This is my studios. We do all the cartoons, all the video games are done here because of the pandemic. We're not going out, which sucks. But I really miss my friends. But it all led up to this moment. This character, reading for this character and going, oh, what am I going to do? I don't know. Anthony Hopkins lives right. Yes, excellent. Led up to this. So I have to say, Megatron. I've had a tremendous amount of fun doing every character I've done. Like as Rob Paulson says,
"Oh, DK, isn't it? It's like it's a gift, We get paid for this. I can't believe this, Da 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 da."
But it is. It's like I don't even think about a paycheck. We're in there. I remember Rob was in with us in Transformers, and he was in as well as Ben 10 Omniverse, and we look across each other. And first of all, I think that's Rob Paulson. And second of all,
he said, "I mean, can DK? Can you believe this? I mean, come on. I mean, you know what? Isn't this a riot? This is
and he's right. Every role, every time I'm in a studio, number one, I'm thinking they hired me, and number two, I'm thinking, wow, this is crazy. So. Megatron, long-winded answer, Megatron. It has to be Megatron.
All right. Well, do you remember what can you give us the favorite quote from Megatron? What's and this question is from the Real Teal OWO. So what is your favorite Beast Wars Megatron quote?
Are you ready?
We're ready.
The universe cowered once at the name of Megatron, and it shall do so again. Yes. Excellent.
Predacons terrorize. And there's another one more. The very first episode was
Commander Rattrap, what a pleasant surprise.
Scott said something like me. And he said something like that. And I said,
oh, Commander Rattrap, what a pleasant surprise, but it should avail you not. No, side guns.
And I love that. Boop, 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 boop. The guns come out. And I went, oh my God, that's so cool. So those two quotes are kind of fun.
Very cool.
Yeah.
All right, we're going to move on to another question here. He says, this is from Cosplay Noah, and goes on to say, hi, David K. Started watching Beast Wars a while ago, and my gosh, you did an amazing job voicing Megatron. The one thing I'd like to know is how did you decide on Megatron's voice in Beast Wars? And did you have any other voices in mind before settling on the final version?
Yeah, no, I did. There was on that question I answered, but I didn't. I didn't. I can't remember what I did even in the initial audition. I just know that when I went into to GGRP up there in Vancouver for the callback, it sort of just happened. Some roles, that's how it happens. I mean, other roles we get, I'm reading constantly for stuff every day, all day, every week. The cartoons are coming in and auditions are coming in. You're going, geez, I don't know. And you kind of start talking. and I mean, this is such a great representation. This MP43 version of the art that we originally got. I will never take this apart because I will never know how to get it back together again. Jobby the Hong's gonna have to help me with that guy. I have no idea. But you look at the character, and
He's a lizard. So
obviously he's going to be a Tyrannosaurus Rex sort of thing. He's going to be coming from a place of power, right? He's got the teeth.
and how he talks.
There's an example I'll give you in TF Prime. I was brought in. That was really cool to play an Insecticon.
Hard shell.
Hard shell, thank you. And so I thought, well, okay, he's going to be one of the bad guys, right, or help in that way. So he's going to come from a place of power, but I thought I looked at the picture and he's got like these mandibles.
How would an insect say something here? So I started in. I didn't want him to sound too like Megatron, but I want him to have that power. So I just squished my teeth in this way. And Insecticon. Yes, we're Insecticons.
And a bit of a saliva and spit comes in because you imagine them, speaking, trying to speak. So that's how it happens. You kind of, the unfortunate thing about that, when I went in 2 hours, I'm like, I left and my face was like I was really sore. So if you do that in the audition, you got to do that in the performance. That's one of the things. But that's, an idea. You look at the character and you envision. You got to think, well, you close your eyes and look at what does he look like? How does he speak? Is he big? Is he small? As far as Grandpa Max for Ben 10, like I had to do that, and he's a little a little overweight, but because he likes his food, but he's happy and he's grandpa, so I just sort of envelop that, think of that character and who he is. In other characters, again, sometimes you're given the direction, like they like Paul Bettany because the movie's coming out. Could you match that as close as you can? So you listen to his voice, it's soft and it's wonderful, and I don't have to work very hard. And so you bring that, and it comes from the throat in here.
Megatron comes from here, from everywhere. Of course he does.
And Transformers animated, he's a hero. So he's a little more broad-chested. He's out this way, close to my voice, and transform and roll out. It's all right. Gosh darn it, let's go. It's just closing your eyes and coming up with a character and who they are and what they look like. It all goes into to creating, what this character will be. Yeah. Good questions, by the way. Really good questions. I could never ask these questions. I wouldn't know what to say.
Thank goodness you all are asking them.
It's crowdsourcing. The internet helps us out.
Yay.
All right. The next question comes from Planned Planethood.
Mm-hmm.
And they say, hey, huge fan. You'll always be the Optimus to me.
Oh, gosh.
In a similar vein, what was it like to go from voicing Megatron to Optimus?
It was it was a little bit of a tough transition, honestly. Because, you envelop that, like I said, you envelop that character all the time. And I remember the series, I was in the process of moving down to Los Angeles and commuting. I commuted for 10 years from Vancouver back and forth, and, with visas and once and finally, we became citizens about 5 years ago now. The series was being done down here at Cartoon Network, and I was at this time still transitioning from Vancouver back and forth, and I knew Sue Blue was directing, and I reached out to Sue. And I don't do this often, and I said, hey, it's me. I love Sue, and we've had a great. I love her to pieces and miss her. I don't see her enough. And she said, DK, of course. Yes, we're going to have you in. Oh, my God. Blah, blah, blah. I said, oh, excellent. So I worked on the roles. I sent them in. And, of course, I got a call back. And I had to be in L.A. anyway. So I was there for the week. And I went over to Cartoon Network. And there they all were. And that's when I first met Derek and Matt Youngberg, Derek Wyatt, and Marty Eisenberg, and the producers. And Sue was in the booth. And I was like, oh, this feels so good. It feels like, putting on an old glove or an old sock. And well, let's start with Megatron. I go, okay, here we go.
yes, all this sort of thing. And I go, oh my God, wouldn't it be cool? And then Megatron's back. Here we go. Then I read I always forget the I in the middle of his head. Help me out.
Shockwave.
Dominion, Megatron.
Shockwave.
No, not Shockwave. Megatron is wise.
Oh, Lugnut.
You.
Oh.
Thank you. I don't know why.
Lugnut. My name is Lugnut. Yes. Smarter than a 2x4, but not by much.
And I still read a few other characters and that, and then they're all looking around. They're going, hey, old times, isn't this kind of cool? And then Sue says, hey, DK, we want you to take a look at Optimus Prime. We're having trouble casting, and they want you to. And I go, Optimus Prime. Oh, okay, whatever. So I went out, I went out in the studio and I went by myself and read the lines and practiced a bit. And I said, again, okay, I'll just kind of do me. And a couple of people went in, did their stuff, and they brought me back in, and the direction was sort of like a young Tom Hanks, or like a new, younger leader of the Autobots, and so I said, okay, and I sort of did that. I went in here, I younged him up a bit, I made him a little younger, and I never thought about it. And then it must have been about a month later. I remember this exactly how it happened. I was driving through Chinatown in LA, coming off the 110. If you live, you'd come off into Chinatown. And I remember thinking, going through Chinatown, it's Chinatown, Jack, forget about it, from the movie. Chinatown. And then I'm just coming up to a Temple, I think it is. And then the phone rings, and it's my agent, Natanya. And I'm turning right on Temple, heading toward the Disney Concert Hall area. And she says, hey, DK, good news. I go, all right. She goes, so Transformers animated. I go, I'm just waiting for the confirmation. She says, so they want to bring you in as Optimus, and we're going to, and it kind of, she went on for a minute, and I went, so hang on a second. It's not Megatron. She goes, no, Corey Burton's Megatron. So you're going to be the Optimus. And I go, well, how does that going to work? I said, how's that going to work? I don't know, DK. They really like you. Okay. So I hung the phone up and I'm excited, but I'm thinking, oh shit. Now what? And the first few episodes, and Corey does his Megatron and he's so great, and Corey's a riot. And it took me a few episodes to get comfortable, when Sue would be behind the glass saying, okay, Megatron. And I'd sort of stand up. Oh, that's not me. And it's Corey. It took a while. And finally, I guess about episode, 4 or 5, I was kind of up in here, this young bot, I'm trying to get all the troops together and yeah, whatever. But I kind of dropped into this area, and more of a comfortable voice for me. And he just kind of went, and that's how I started to feel comfortable about episode 4 or 5, maybe even episode 6. But so it's actually, there he is. My name is Optimus Prime, Megatron. Yeah, so that's how that happened.
Awesome. I also wanted to mention this was a similar question asked also by Haruko Haruhara, Gojira Fan 2010, and Ghostimus. So they all asked similar questions. So, folks, y'all got your question answered.
So yeah, I think so. Somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm. All right, so we're going to go into the next question, and it is, which characterization of Megatron did you prefer? Beast Wars, Beast Machines, or the Unicron trilogy? This is
oh look,
yeah,
I just happen
got
to
to remember
have,
that one.
Yeah, I just happen to have. It's a very large toy. I hope I don't drop it and break my face.
There's Megatron there's the Cybertron Megatron still in the box.
Oh yeah,
he's kind of
Nice.
cool, right? So and that's they were already done, and it was anime. We had to go in and do the lip flaps. Now the difference is because the animation's already drawn, so you have to follow the lip flaps. You can't. There's no time to
pontificate and think and, if I do this, this will happen. But if I do that, yes, this might happen. And I might get to take a bubble bath with my little rubber ducky after I defeat Maximal Scum.
So there's only so much room to play in anime. You do the best you can within the time frame of those lip flaps, right? My favorite in anime is when there's no lip flaps and it's just he's talking in his head. I go, oh, thank goodness I can just talk. So yeah, there's no lip flaps. Oh, my job is done here. So Beast Wars and the Machines was fun. I like the Machines, but Beast Wars, I say Beast Wars because the writing, for Larry DiTillo and Bob Forward, the writers were great. The writers were great for all of them. And there was this humor, this sort of Spider-Man humor that Megatron had. You know, when you used to watch the old Spider-Man cartoons or read the comic books, and he'd say a snide remark, and you kind of laugh to yourself. Megatron had those little moments, and there was this little bit of humor in there that I really liked that he had. And I also like the darker version, but there's no room for humor in that sort of darker version. But I did like that little playfulness in Beast Wars. So I'm going to say Beast Wars, but not by much.
And there is a second part of this question, and it is not including yourself. Who do you think did the best voice of Megatron / Galvatron? This question came from God Azizel.
Who is aside from
aside from you? Yeah,
aside from me. Wait, there's other people? I didn't realize. Well, come on. Frank, my friend Frank Welker. Frank is a not just from Megatron. Actually, who else? I mean, Frank does a great job. Frank's just, oh my God, he's just like the talent scale. Frank's off it. He's not even. He's like somewhere up in the gosh, it's a hard one. I love everyone. I love Corey Burton was so good. Corey, God, we had so many laughs. Him and I, we stood beside each other and animated. And Corey Burton's is sort of as Megatron in this area here. He did something. He's just so good. And Corey's fantastic. I don't know. They're all they're all good. They're all good. I love Bill Fagerbakke, and I love all those people in that cast. The TF cast were great, and the Beast Wars cast. My God, I'll tell you who my favorite voice actor and Transformer is of all time is Alec Willows, who played Tarantulas. Now because we used to get so creeped out when he would do his lines. He's such a wonderful human being. Number one, he's just a gem of a guy, and I miss all those folks and Alec. But he would envelop, like I said, the character. He would speak, and everyone would go, "Oh, ugh." You just feel like, ugh. I don't want to hang out with him. And he was so good. He was so good at it. He just brought this life, this stuff he used to do, and I thought it was brilliant. And they're all fantastic. But Alec to me, and you'll ask the other beasts. You ask Gary and the other guys, and he's one of the ones that really stands out as being really cool. Loved it.
Awesome. All right, next question. I think the first part you kind of already answered, but so I'll skip to the second part. This is from Triumphant Taylor, and he says that. Thank you so much for everything you've done. And he says, I have to ask, what was the origin of Megatron saying,
"Excellent. Terror no side yes."
Yeah.
Excellent. Terror no side gun yes.
We're exactly the same on the button. Did you hear that? We're in the same place on the button. That's brilliant. Wow.
I was hoping he was going to do it. He was going to. I was hoping Charles was going to make an attempt at the actual line, though.
Come on, man.
Well, all right, okay.
Give it a shot, everyone.
What was the origin of Megatron saying yes?
There you go.
And do you or other voice actors prank call each other in different character voices?
I'll answer that last question first. Other voice that yes, every time I like, for example, I'll call Bowser, and it doesn't matter. I mean, we can all tell who's calling, right? Not the old days. I wonder who the hell that is. We know who it is, and so if I see Bowser on the phone, I get,
Hello? Yes? Eric who? What? I can't hear. I'm sorry.
we'll do stuff like it's always hey DK, hey, he'll do his. Well, there's never really a conversation for the first 5 minutes. It's more like doing like some kind of weird little voice. I'll call Ian Corlett. Ian's down here too, or I think he's in Vancouver. I don't know where he's, but from time to time I'll talk on the phone to Ian or Trevor Duval and some folks up north, and it's always the same thing. And say with Trevor Duval, some of you might know Trev. We'll start talking accents. It's usually Irish or Northern Ireland, from Northern Ireland, or Irish or Scottish or some sort of a thing. We'll start talking like if we go to a restaurant. Trevor and I around the corner here, we used to go to when restaurants were open. We used to go and we would order in accents. And Trevor would start. Yeah, I have a pint of the Guinness, and I said I took my Welsh accent as well. Have you got any Welsh beers or brains or anything? And they go, oh, where are you guys from? So we'd have to carry on. And Trevor's so good at that. So yeah, we all, and when we used to come in for the, we'd table read first for Beast Wars, and then we go in and record. And we would, I think the whole room was full of people doing voices for the first hour, while we warmed up and we got in there. It's really nothing important to say. We were just talking in weird voices. So that's part of the fun of being, a VO, is just doing that goofy stuff. And the first question I forgot because I've gone on too long. What was it?
the origin of the yes.
Yes. Let me tell you about that. It was in the script, and as a simple yes. And there was one of them in the entire script. It might have been the first episode or the second. I don't know. But it was the yes was at the beginning of the sentence. It was, yes, of course. I will blah, 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 blah. But I switched it around. I said, and this is what we'll do. Yes. And Sue goes,
oh, DK. That's good. Let's do that again. Let's do another couple of those.
And then there was an opportunity, because I love the Shakespearean sort of the writing and the element of this character, that I added the no in at one point. It was not in. And I said, this one is, yes, but it will blah, 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 no. And then they, oh my God, that's out. Let's keep that. And so every once in a while I would throw it in. I would switch up the sentence. So it was a combination, but I did stretch it out. I think, yes. Because again, back to, you look at them, and if it's a bit more, maybe at the time when I did it was a bit more of a small list because of the Anthony Hopkins thing. Yes. More of that sort of thing. Yes. So it became more lizard-like. So that's how it wound its way into the lore. Is it lore now? Is it okay to say lore?
Yes.
Yes.
We're dating ourselves.
Yes.
Yes. Everyone.
All right. That was also asked by From That Autistic Guy 1234 and from Comrade Waffle. So congrats, guys. You got your question in.
Nice. Comrade. Yes.
All right. We've got a question here from Axelon Nemesis, and they ask, what has been your favorite experience with voicing all these characters? You essentially created a beloved character and helped push Beast Wars and reinvigorated the entire franchise. Similarly was asked by Fishsticks03, Nightly Piano 41, and Simple TGE.
Excellent. Now I have a craving for fish sticks.
Captain Highliner. Who remembers Captain Highliner? The Canadians do, don't they? Of course. Captain Highliner. The 7-seater.
I think it was my first voice ever as a kid.
Captain Highliner, that's fish. Give me some fish sticks, buddy.
The experience is working with the other actors. That's what makes it so special, and that's what I'm doing a series right now. It's a prime time, Netflix you'll find out about it down the road. It's so much fun, my God. But it's all the table reads and everything are happening from here. They're on Zoom, and we're recording our studios. It's great, but it's nothing like being working with your peers in a room. Gosh, the first time I worked with Steve Bloom was in Ben 10 Omniverse, and working with like I said, some of the celebrities used to come in, and just working with Corey and and then working with Tara all these years. And it's fun to be in the same room with them all, and that's the best experience ever, is because it's like being in grade school. It's like kindergarten's great. It's like first, second, third, fifth grade. What do we all do? Screw around. Spitballs. That happened in Beast Wars, in the Pinewood Studios during the recording of Beast Wars. Just picture this: is all of us in there getting ready, and we all have our, remember we used to play this game, put the pencil in your hand and then fire it up and make it stick in the ceiling. Well, that's what we used to do in Pinewood Studios, to the point where it's like,
Can you have the actors stop sticking pencils in the ceiling? We're having a bit of an issue.
and so and there was spitballs, literally. Hey, who did that? Hey, is that Corlett? I mean, that happened. The whole Gary, pull my finger. That was because Ian and Gary used to stand next to each other. And Venus, the only poor female in the room. She's lovely, and she must have I know she had a lot of fun. She was a riot, but we were as a bunch of goofy boys in a kindergarten class, and she was the only girl. So that's fun. That's the best.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, next question comes from a longtime Transmissions podcast listener, DJ Ronan. And he says, "Hi, David, longtime listener, first-time commenter.
Hey, DJ.
Was there..."
First time listener, first time commenter. Ah!
Yes.
Was there a voice you auditioned for that you just felt that you got, but in the end, sadly, did not receive the call to return?
Yes.
Oh, I can't name. There are many.
Oh, I'm exhausted just thinking about it.
Of course, there are ones you go, it's always the ones you think, I haven't got a shot. I don't have a hope in hell on this one. All right, here goes nothing. And they go, hey, they loved you for that role. You go, for what? All the things you do that week, the one you thought, that's the one you get. All the ones you went, this is going to be it. This is going to be it. This is good. Nothing. And I'm trying to remember some of them. I got to be honest with you. I've only seen the first one, but I was really hoping to do a little something in the Michael Bay stuff for the live actions. I want to do like a live action thing. I wanted to sort of bring some more realization. And I did a couple things. I thought, that's great, but I don't even know if they even heard it. There's so many people. Everybody who's done anything has been fantastic in any of those movies, and you hear it and you go, that's that's awesome. Kevin Michael Richards is my favorite. Kevin's so damn good. In a couple of movies. I some of the live action stuff, I've always wanted to do like an audition for a Star Wars or something. I did have one of my dreams come true. I was auditioning for Robot Chicken forever and ever and ever and ever, and nothing. There are series I auditioned for here to this day, and I get the audition, I look at it, went, right, okay. I can have the best audition ever. This is not happening. It's like, I used to professionally audition for Stargate up in Vancouver for years and years and years. And I never thought much of myself as an on-camera actor, but there was a couple of things I went, that was all right. I did. And nothing, there was a couple.
Gary didn't help you out to get on Stargate?
Gary? No, hell no. He was already a big star back then. Hey, it's too bad you're not on Stargate. But yeah, there are roles more importantly, there are certain directors I ache to work with, and I just can't break in. I just can't crack it. So I won't name any names, but there are certain people I really want to work with, but there are also things that come through that you get cast in, you're going, oh my God, this is pretty cool. There's a couple of special announcements coming out, and I hope you're all going to love them, but there's some pretty amazing casts and things I've been involved with recently that we can't talk about, but you know, you're cast in the roles that you're meant to be cast in, and that's just the business. You let it go. You have to move on. I'm old enough now. I read something and I forget about it. Literally in 5 minutes, I'm like moving on to the next thing. Because you know, if it comes back around and they hire you or they want you to, you know, great. You know, it's an honor to be even in the room or reading for something. So it's all good. It's all good. It's a growth process. You know.
Right on. All right. So we have a question here that it came in from a lot of people. So we just combined, like, and I say a lot, I mean, we're talking dozens of people. So we just combined it into one question here. This question is about the Netflix Kingdom series. And we want to know what is it? Would you be up for returning to the role of your or filling the T-Rex size shoes of Megatron if you were given the opportunity?
Okay. Yes, of course. I mean, I know I tiptoe around this, and I mean, these are beloved characters, and you know how much this meant to my career and in launching it, and so yeah, I mean, I don't answer. You'll find me not answering a lot of questions like that on social media because I really don't know what to say. There are decisions that are made, you know, beyond me, and you know, it's nothing to do with anyone. It's just somebody makes a decision, and you know, and that's the nature of the beast. It's you know, film television can be a cruel world, but you know, that's the business we're in. I always felt that certainly I would love to get the gang back together and really have at this in a you know how in the 90s series, Beast Wars series, it was, you know, it was animated and it was you were acting in the scenes, but there's something as we move forward into this other next decade, there's a realism that I'd love to bring to this character. There's even there's more subtleties. The older I am, and you guys understand this, the more time you're on the planet, the more places you've traveled, the more things you've read, that influences how you know, bring something to a character. It's just you've been on the planet longer, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Yep.
there's so many things. It's like when I did I did it, and I did some theater back in the day, and I got it scared the crap out of me. But I did Stanley Kowalski in Streetcar, and it wasn't bad, you know. But I think, wow, having some time on the planet, and I could dig into this. And so with Megatron, there's this whole opportunity to get really intimate and really go a little deeper. And I think that'd be a lot more fun, you know, to do with this character. Who knows, man, what the future is? But that's a long-winded answer. I hope you understand sort of where I'm coming from on that. But my God, yes, I would love to bring this. I even thought once about
How do we should do like a cruise, or like, you know, those Disney cruises, and have us all on. We'll do like a thing.
and just all these ideas, we're getting us back together. I honestly miss that group, you know, living in the US and most of them in Canada now. We had some fun times, and I think we could really bring something special to it if we were given the opportunity. But you know, that's not our decision. That's the nature of the beast, you know, the industry we're in.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, next question, and this comes from Springtrapped 1987 and was also asked by Axelon Nemesis. Hi, David. Do you have a rubber ducky in real life?
Yep.
And if not, do you plan to get one someday? Of course, you already have one.
I don't have one. I don't need one. I got a couple. Oh, I got another. Look, I got another one. I got two.
Do they actually make it into the bath with you? That's the other part of the question.
No, I don't. I'm not a bath kind of guy. I like to do. So in the shower, sure, you know. I don't have the time, but because Megatron has the time. He has a moment. He can take a moment. I can see Megatron taking a bath. I can't see him taking a shower. So it makes more sense if you have the thing in I don't know. I don't know where we went with that.
This is just became Reddit AMA after
Yeah.
dark.
After the after party.
Yes. Bubble bath with Megatron.
That's how D. Bradley Baker does sort of some of the cool sounds you can make with a cup. Shout out to D. Bradley Baker. One of my favorite video people.
All right,
Right.
so we got a question. If you had to pick a Transformers character to play other than Megatron or Optimus, who would you pick? This comes from G. Blover, 1984.
GB Lover, Daryl. Ghostbusters. GB Lover.
Yeah, GB Lover.
G Blubber.
and
G
and
Blubber. I don't know. G Blubber. I'm not sure.
I'm not wrong.
No. No.
Yes, that is the way to pronounce those letters in English, Daryl.
See, another Transformers character? Gosh, I don't know. Wow. That's a tough one. Because everybody who does them is so perfectly cast. I don't know what I'm not sure. I can't even think of whatever other one I would because I wouldn't ever want to, do the. I mean, you can't. Scott. If you have Scott McNeil and the Dinobot character was just so. God, he was so good in that. And Waspinator, I don't even know how the hell he did that. I mean, so I wouldn't even go down that road of choosing another one. If there's a new one out there, there was one in the movie I really liked. I can't remember who did the voice, but I think it was the first time. It was a Junkyard, an old one, maybe you help me out. This the first Michael Bay movie was he came out and he was old and rusted, and I believe he was English or something.
Was that might have been Jetfire in Revenge of the Fallen?
Yeah, it was Jetfire. So
SR-71.
yeah, who you know who that was? It was so damn good.
I
Jetfire.
don't remember.
Jeremy's
Jetfire.
gonna Google foo it.
Yeah, yeah.
Ask the magical box.
But
TFI.
I seem to have a tendency to gravitate towards some English characters, a Jeremy Irons type,
Mm.
Mark
deeply-
Ryan.
Mark. I met Mark here. Yes, Mark Ryan. Mark is very, very, very good. I don't. They're all great. I couldn't. The roles in Transformers we were given are perfectly for us, and I couldn't think of another one I'd like to do.
Yeah. I remember at BotCon in Pasadena, you and Greg Berger doing a back and forth as
Dinobot. Grimlock.
Yeah.
Yes, me Grimlock. Dinobot. Anything you could do, I can do better. Yeah, if anybody ever has the video of that, I'd love to see that video. That was so much fun. And by the way, Greg Berger is, talk about, I keep saying these people are gems of human beings. So Greg is just, he's the nicest guy. Oh my God.
Mhm.
I first met Greg a long time ago and corn-fed. Oh my God, this guy, you're corn-fed. And to find out he was in the Transformers universe, I always look forward. If Greg was ever at a convention, I always felt like, because he's such a great guy, and miss seeing him around the block too. We're all doing our thing here. He's
Yep. All right. And next question comes from K-Babs, and this was actually on Twitter. And they say, if Clank were an Autobot, what will he turn into? And Toaster doesn't count. That's too obvious.
By the way, it's KB Abs, just to. I think we all know. Yeah.
You got it.
Clank were not about who would he turn into? Yeah, a silver and black Mini Cooper.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Yeah, there he is. I'm just going to take him out of Ratchet's back.
There he is. Oh dear. We must find Captain Quark. Quickly.
Yeah, he's a sweetheart. Oh my God! Somebody call an ambulance! Somebody call an ambulance! Clank is down. I don't even know how to get his arm back in. This is a toy they gave us for the movie that came out. That was so cool.
Get
Anyway.
animated Ratchet to help Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, right?
I loved it. And Corey Burton, he was so funny.
Always cantankerous, for crying out loud. I'm trying to have a nap.
And I love the way he did that character.
All right, Daryl, I think this might be our last set of questions here.
I think so. And this is it's a set of 3 questions. So I mean, take it what you will here. But this is from Cardian Prime, and they ask, have you ever considered trying your hand at voice direction, writing, or any of the other crew positions, especially in relation to Transformers? What are your thoughts on voice acting against other actor in person versus being recorded separately? And what advice do you have for finding and auditioning for voiceover roles?
Gosh, I've been asked that. Direction. I have trouble enough, holding a pen. So I'm in awe of the voice directors and what Sue does and Colette Sunderman and gosh, what some of the great directors I've worked with over the years. I'm in awe of how they can keep it all together. And it's a big job, and a lot of times people don't realize how difficult that job is. It's a tough one. So I don't know if it's because I'm too lazy or I'm scared. Maybe it's a combination of both. Because I keep thinking, well, why would they listen to me? Why don't I got this? Writing is another craft I'm amazed at. When I see a good piece of writing, I'm like, how do they do that? Like when I read, oh gosh, some of the great novelists, and I wonder how do you craft that? How do you make that? So I leave that to the professionals. I still might write something. I've thought about writing. People, write a book. I don't want to write a book on how to do voiceover. I mean, there's other people that are very, very good at that, and they're great at it. And that's not where if I was to write something, it would be, I guess, it might not relate to VO at all. It might relate to things around it, but I honestly don't know what I would write. Other crew positions I like producing. We're producing a animated series now. It's Bizarre. Our animators in Tasmania, and it's not quite animation. It's quite different. So I'm dipping my hand into the production end of it, and I kind of enjoy that. I'm more of a person who would like to grab the people who know what they're doing and get them together and get the best people together and go, okay, make this project. That's what a producer does. An executive producer may throw in, a bit of money or at the project, but somebody who gets people together and puts them in a room. That's a producerial role. I don't mind that at all. I kind of like that, to see it. As far as the Transformers, yeah, like I said earlier, I always envision, fantasize about doing something and doing another, Beast Wars thing. We thought about crowdsourcing, crowdfunding, but then again, that's a whole other, can of worms, and I really don't understand that whole, part of the business. And the other part of the question was, what was the second part? There was
thoughts on voice acting against other actor in person.
Oh yeah, no, I much prefer that. The energy is different. And it can be done, and we're doing it, and this is how it has to be done. But I much prefer in-person stuff because it's so great. When me and, for example, James Arnold Taylor and myself did the movie, the first time we'd actually worked together in a studio together after 15 years, right? And it was, I went, oh, hey, huh? We're here. Look at this. And then Andrew Romano, directed on the first bit of the movie, and we're like, oh my God, this is so great. So yeah, it's so much fun. And then as far as, and then the second one was advice for auditioning and voiceover roles.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Like I said, sometimes you know exactly what you're going to do and you made a choice, you go in. Other times you're not quite so sure. It's how do I gosh, how do I put this? Because look, I'm not I don't teach this, you know, so I don't know how, I don't even know how to craft that. And again, people who teach are have a skill and they're much better at it than I am. Um, I just somehow go in and I look at the character and I think like who are they? What's the deal? And you know, I'll read the scene. And is this comedy? Is this serious? Is it you know, what is this? Is this video game? Is it? There's different ways to attack an audition and coming up with a voice. A lot of times, you know, the reason, you know, they don't know what they're looking for either. They may give you an idea of who they're, you know, going for. If they say they may give you an example of you know, a couple of voice prints that they're looking or interested in. Like for example, when I auditioned 4 years ago for Professor X for X-Men Evolution, I knew that they were, you know, big fans of Patrick Stewart and so I used that one. Well, let's just sort of do my version of Patrick Stewart, and because I always thought I always loved Patrick Stewart's version of Professor X. So I just went in here, you know, Logan, we must locate Kitty. You know, what's going on? I want you back here as soon as possible. So I did that and ended up, you know, booking the role. It depends sort of, you know, what I think really looking at the character and who are they and what are their features and facial features.
Does it call for mandibles?
You know,
Does it call for something small? Is it, you know, is it very tiny?
is he broad? Is he big? You know, how intelligent are they? And what situation is? So it's a matter of playing around, you know, with it to see sort of what sounds, what may sound right, and you have to just, you know, record it and throw it out there. It's the only way to do it. Is you just got to jump in, you know, jump off the diving board and trust there'll be water there. Give it a shot, because you just really never know. Because sometimes you think you nailed it and you didn't. Other times you think, oh my God, it was a complete mess, and you end up booking the part. You know, the most important thing for any voice actor is to get an audition. Get somebody who can get you an audition, get access. My agent used to say, you don't have access. We're going to get you access. We're going to get you access. You know, access is access. And to have access to the material is the most important thing. And there are other people. There's Debbie Derryberry, who does, you know, great animation classes. There's so many great teachers out there that are fantastic, and they'll give you the lay of the land. And we can start getting together again. You can get into a studio with everybody, and you know, and have at it. But man, yeah, I just miss, you know, doing the in-person stuff. That's the biggest crime of this whole thing, especially if you're, you know, doing an ensemble cast. You don't see people.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think we've run out of time, so I hope everyone liked getting their questions in. Sorry, we you know, these Reddit AMAs they
yeah, there's a lot of great questions too.
Yeah.
I wish we'll have to do this again. Yeah, I guess, you know,
definitely. Yeah.
Sounds a great question.
If you make us.
Yeah. Yeah.
But don't leave, everyone, because we're not done. We're not done because so you know, this is the 25th anniversary of Beast Wars, and IDW Publishing is doing a Beast Wars comic book. So here it is. The first issue came out just a couple weeks ago.
Oh yeah, I got it on my iPad. I got it.
It's by Eric Burnham and Josh Burcham.
Yes,
so good, guys. Just like, you know, love it, love it, love it.
And this is a retelling of the classic Beast Wars cartoon. So this is they're putting their own spin on it, but the characters are the characters that you know and love.
It's awesome.
So yeah, so David, since we have you here, maybe you might want to do a little dramatic reading from the comic.
Yeah, let's do a couple of things here, because you know, is there one where let me see here. That's a C clan. What is there? What's page 7 here? No, there's not too much. Oh well, we could do. There's a see the page 7. There's a sort of an opening little speech there. Is that? And then C Clamp comes in.
Yes. Okay.
Like my namesake, I will lead.
Yeah, let's just see what.
Yeah.
Who's going to play C Clamp and Ram Horn? Cicada Don. Yeah, I'll try. Let me try Cicada. I'll see. I don't know. I'll just throw something up for Cicada Don. How about you guys? One of you do C Clamp and one does Ram Horn.
Okay.
Is that okay for this one?
Sure.
All right. Okay.
What do you want my lines to be? Where do you want me to start? Charles?
6. 6 and 7.
So, yeah, page. Okay, so
This is the Tripredicus Council.
mhm.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay, at the top of page 6, there's the 3 Tripredicus Council. So, which one is C Clamp?
They aren't really-
C-Clamp. Hi, I'm C-Clamp.
Yeah. So I had this page 7 here. 5 panels.
Okay, page. Okay, yeah. Okay, sure.
So somebody do C Clamp, Ram Horn, and I'll try Cicada Don.
Okay.
What does Cicada Don look like? Could you hold it up? Can you see? Let me see. Cicada Don. So
Is
that's
he
him right there.
the green guy?
Is he the green and white head?
Yeah.
All right.
Galavox Initiative may well.
Okay. All right. Let's try something. Okay. Let's just do some. So you got C Clamp, and then you, Jeremy, who's doing? You doing Ram Horn, or who's doing what? Or Daryl?
Daryl, you can. Daryl, you want? Are you going to do Ram Horn? I guess. So the bat ears
the
guy,
one-
I guess.
Yeah.
Sure. What the hell?
Yeah. And I'll do the C Clamp. The
Okay.
the thin
Sure.
guy.
Let's try this one scene here. Let's try this.
Sure. What the heck?
All right.
All right. Again, a shot in the council chambers. The Tripredicus Council watching the holographic Megatron. Here we go.
Like my namesake, I will lead our people to the glory you 3.
From the top.
Like my namesake, I will lead our people to the glory you 3 pine for, but never had the strength to seize. If this disc contains half of what I believe it does, our victory is assured. Yes, our rise is at hand. When next we meet, you'll thank me, and then you will bow.
He was telling the truth. There's already news of an attack on the great shipyard. Nearly every transwarp-capable ship on the planet has been destroyed.
That spec thinks we'll bow to him? To him?
Be calm. Galavar's initiative may well serve our cause, but he doesn't have the temperament to truly lead. He's never been one to play the long game. But we see more than what is right in front of us, my friends. And that is why we'll be prepared to take advantage of Galavar's success. Or his failure.
Anyway.
Awesome.
That was fun. And let's see here. Should I do that?
You got a big chunk of lines at the end.
Yeah, you want to do that big chunk of lines at the end?
You can go for it, man.
Yeah, let's do that.
Here's the big chunk of lines at the end.
Oh, there's a tarantulas one.
What kind of planet is this? This is Megatron. Yeah.
God, I love him.
There's a chat here, like from Twitch. Someone's suggesting that IDW does audiobooks of their comics. I think that'd be really fun.
Yeah. Let me just do this the scene here for Tarantulas and Megatron, and I'll go 29 and 30 to the
Okay.
end. Okay. All right, let's try this. Okay. Where are we here? Okay. On the bridge of the dark side. Computer caption. Energon levels of planet are too potent. Prolonged exposure in primary mode will lead to stasis lock and eventual termination of spark. Techno-organic casing will prevent energon poisoning. Here we go, the second panel. Tarantulas. Transforms.
What kind of planet is this, Megatron? How could this be our destination?
Before we acquired the Golden Disc, the Science Ministry managed to decode one file, the location of a planet exceedingly rich in energon. Yes.
And Megatron.
Ah, we see now that this is true, which means whatever else is on the disc will be true as well.
With just the raw energon on this world, we would have the power to overthrow Maximal Command on Cybertron. And there's more on the disc. We'll be unstoppable.
Precisely. Yes. The world is rich in energon, and it will be ours. But before we can overthrow the Maximals of our home world, we must first deal with the ones who followed us and caused us to crash. We survived that crash, and until I see their corpses with my own eyes, it only makes sense to believe they did as well. We have enemies here, on this little planet. Enemies we will eliminate. A new war has come, my friends. And this time, it is ours to win!
Sorry. No, that's just at the cold. That is a cold read. That is a cold read. Never seen, haven't had any time. But anyway, but it's just so much fun to read
That was
words.
pretty good.
And the comic. Oh, the comic is so good. It's so awesome. Please get your copy. And we want to let everyone know that the answers were the complete answers will be shared following the stream. Is that correct? Is that correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
They're,
yes.
they're getting typed into the Reddit post now.
Got it.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun, man. As an actor, it is so much you can do, and there's so many things. That's why we rehearse. That's why we work with it. But it's just fun to read those words. It's a thrill.
Awesome. Thank you
all.
so much.
Good.
You guys, yeah. So is that it? Do we have to go?
We
I
have a bunch more questions that we didn't get to.
Oh, cool.
Well, I do want to mention, since we thanks David for inviting us, letting us work this out with you and host this with you. If everyone is interested in what we do, we are the Transmissions Podcast. You can check us out at transmissionspodcast.com. We do weekly Transformers themed podcasts, and you can check us out wherever fine podcasts are found: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon, Spotify. Anywhere you can get a podcast, just type Transmissions Podcast and you'll find us.
That's awesome. And don't forget, you follow me for all that. There's a bunch of news coming up, and I don't say this enough. I know we got thousands of people out there and around the world, which is kind of cool. It's at DKVO. That's DKAYE. VO is in voiceover, at DKVO. There's a webpage, but you can follow me on Twitter and Twitch, but it's the same on all platforms. So follow me and ask me some questions, off, and when I get a chance, I'll answer and say hello. So it's at DKAYEVO, at DKVO. And somebody said it's frozen. Is something frozen?
Looks good to me.
Looks good. Oh, okay. All right.
It's on their end.
Frozen. They go, frozen. I'm hot. I'm sweating in here. Yes, to everybody, this is sort of the studio. There's the toys are up, usually kept up there. I got them all down. I got some video, games over there. This is where I work, and this is where we read the scripts off of. But this is where I spend a lot of my time in here, doing stuff.
So, do you have anything that you can talk about coming up? I mean, I know last week tonight starting back up.
Yeah, last week tonight's this weekend. I did the first session yesterday, so that show's back, and it's kind of cool. They're back again, Ratchet and Clank: A Rift Apart is I got to tell you, if you're a fan of the video, the PS5. You can get a PS5. I don't even when I'm going to get a fucking PS5. Geez, who knows? But it looks ridiculous. It's so good with the the computer processing and the 3D. It looks amazing. And the game has been announced to be released June 21st, I believe it was. So that's kind of cool.
Nice.
Well, yeah, there's that, but there's first animated prime time show. The cast has not been announced, and that won't be for a while. There's another big announcement coming soon. There is, if you have young kids, you can see Eric Bauza, the new Eric Bunny. The new Eric Bunny, the new
Eric Bunny.
he is my son, and I'm his father. I'm grandpa, and we're on a little show which is really fun for young kids. It's on Apple Plus TV right now, and I play Grandbot.
Yeah, Grandbot sounds like this, and we're going to have some fun. And on the farm.
And it is on Apple TV Plus, and it's called Doug Unplugs. And Eric Bauza is my son on that. And it's a little Doug is his son, and it's about his little adventures as a robot in a human world. And it's really neat. Gosh, what I know that's also been announced that I'm reprising our role as Ford Cruller in Psychonauts.
Ford, no, see, I got a Ford Cruller. Now, Ford Cruller, and he's in this area here. Ford Cruller.
And it's somewhere in there. I can't. My head is so full of voices right now. Anyway, you know who he is in Psychonauts 2, and that looks pretty amazing. That's going to be out pretty soon. We'll be talking about that. Yeah, there's a few things that I wish I could say, but you can't. If you see the trailers for Tom and Jerry, that's me using my my friendly grandpa voice. So there's those are out. Anyway, but yeah, follow on Twitter at DKVO. We'll keep you, give you all the stuff, and support your favorite charity. Be safe, be well, and I really miss our Transformer family and miss seeing you guys in person. And thank you so much, Jeremy and Big C and Daryl. It's been great.
All right. Thanks everyone for watching. Thanks again to David K for lending his time and talent, and it's just been music to our ears this whole time. So thank you so much. And
Oh yes, on the web. If you want to buy one, they're on the website, but they won't come soon. I got to go to the it takes me a minute. I got to work up to it. But anyway, there's autographed pictures, and these are on the web, davidk.com. So these are running out soon. So, anyway.
No, I encourage. I got mine when I saw you at a convention, so that's awesome. But yeah, who knows when we'll have those again? So definitely go to the website davidk.com.
All right.
And
Peace
yeah,
out,
thanks. See you later.
See you guys. Be well. Cheers.
Later.